Welcome to this wet fish film odyssey, The Wall, Calve Island, Sound of Mull, Scotland, with Loch Allen boat charters. The wall is vertical. When you're on the edge and look down, all you see is the black abyss. It appears in the film the only life is that clinging to the walls, but take it from me, there are one or two fish around. They're all taking advantage of the high tidal flows and passing food. In the last ice age, this would have been rocks and cliffs, and a mountain pass, like those in Glencoe. In fact, you'll even see it looks like Glencoe in shape, size and scale. I believe I've mentioned before, I'll limit my maximum depth while diving to 30 metres. You can see my buddy Les a good 10 metres away and slightly deeper. The water here is clear and very clean, promoting a varied ecosystem. I last dived this wall 35 years ago, and we now see life we never used to see then. Sadly, it's devoid of large fish shoals that used to be here. Overfishing hasn't done Scotland, or anywhere else, any favours. You can see down the rock face in my torch, it continues into the abyss. I am told it flattens off to around 55 metres. Here we see a small red fingers, a soft coral in the dead men's fingers family. Its body is red with large white trumpets searching for food in the passing tidal flow. Later you will see much larger specimens. Off in the distance you can just see the flash of a torch of one of the divers in our party. It gives you an idea how incredible the underwater visibility really is. Back to the almost vertical reef. There are soft and Devonshire cup corals all along the wall. Stunning colours and variety. It looks very strange being able to hover in mid-water on a vast rock face. It doesn't feel like that when you're diving. It just feels magical. Years of experience coming to fruition to keep you steady, being able to observe and film. My idea of absolute heaven. Now you can see just how the rock face disappears into the black abyss below us. I am so sorry I can't share the close-ups I am filming. Unfortunately, the camera card won't allow me to access the files. It's all corrupted. However, later the other camera provides some close-ups, and you'll see what a joy the rock face truly is. Now in close-up you can see all the various sponges and their colours on the rock. They stand out from the grey. There literally are hundreds and thousands of them. Another buddy pair of divers above, in about 20 metres of water, enjoy the life and the dive as we are. A quick rebalancing of my buoyancy as we have come up a few metres, hence letting excess air out of my wrist seal on the suit. This keeps me comfortable whilst at the same time controlling my ascent and prevents the bends. Control in scuba diving is a critical skill. Here we're about to see a large redfinger soft coral in close-up. As we move in, notice the rock face is pink, covered in Sargatia elegans anemones. A signal from a diver in the background to show me something and speed me along to where they are. The signal shows me a good sized crawfish 35 years ago they would have been everywhere. Today they are a rarity. I don't take shellfish these days. It's nice for others to bear witness to them, even if they are in decline. I wait and point it out to my dive buddy, Les. As I pass the camera in close, you now see all of the sponges in close-up. Way off in the distance, a diver hovers on the immense rock face. Wherever rock protrudes out into the tidal flow, the life increases tenfold, adding weight to my theory I have mentioned many times, that structure is critical to the variety of life underwater. Below me now, the deepest part of the Calve Island rock face. It's at least 55 metres deep. To share this experience with other divers in our group, how lucky are we? But I also share it with you, with the hope that you will care about it too. If we care, we then tend to look after things. Another site for me that needs a world designation. It's just so spectacular. You only need the the tiniest of overhangs, and soon as you zoom back, it looks like you're in a cave. The Plumos anemones are a huge family group. They extend 10 or so metres right down the rock face. With expert planning from our skipper, we've had the best of the tide, which means we've actually had none. It's been slack water. We've been able to move around and not had to just drift with the tide. We're coming to the end of our dive, so it's time to check what decompression and safety stops we've got to do and at what depth. And here we are doing it. With thanks to Loch Allen Boat Charters, my buddy Les Roos and the dive organiser Paul Fiander. Music by Dan Hennig and Div Kid. I'm Tony Howells, the filmmaker. This was a wet fish film odyssey. I hope you've enjoyed watching the film as much as we did diving and making it, and I hope you want to protect our home as much as I do. See you again soon.